I think that the reason why I've flourished so much is because as soon as I learned that I could also help people, that was like the two things that I wanted to do in my life, travel and help people.
Yeah.
I've been able to go from being someone who was like suicidal to someone who's absolutely living their dream life. But my biggest success was when I
just put a series together. Because as you may or may not know, we have our own travel business. We help people save and earn money on their travel. We wanted to put this series together because we took some time to sit down with some 6- and 7-figure earners out here. So this is what we're sharing with you. Every week, you're going to be able to find out how you can use travel to make money. Travel, money, and relationships to thrive. It's a beautiful combination.
I just need you to introduce yourself for me and just tell me a little bit about your background, please.
I am Josephine Mullally, and I was born in Ireland, but I moved over to England when I was like 3. So I actually used to have an Irish accent, believe it or not. Yeah. I honestly cursed my mum for not leaving me long enough to have the Irish accent because I love it. It's such a nice accent. But yeah, so the good thing about that was that I actually have an Irish passport, so I can like travel through Europe still, like no dramas. Grew up in obviously the UK, and I didn't actually go on my first holiday until I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went to Croatia as my first holiday, paid for by myself. And yeah, I just absolutely, obviously love travel. So I feel like now my background is just like I'm just traveling the world full time at the minute, and I love it. So yeah, that's my background.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so with the fact that you're working in travel now, you've got your own travel business and you're flourishing, could you just tell the people a little bit about your success within the business and how that's come about for you?
Yeah, so I started because I was like wanting to book travel for myself, of course. I had plans to travel the world, so I was like, it makes so much sense that I can like book my own travel. And I think that the reason why I've flourished so much is because as soon as I learned that I could also help people, that was like the two things that I wanted to do in my life, travel and help people.
Yeah.
And so I was studying psychology before I started the business, and so helping people was something I always wanted to do. So then when I discovered this business, I was like, wow, I actually get to do both, and the impact that I've had on other people has been, you know, it's the reason why I'm like here, it's the reason why I get up every single day. And so yeah, I think building people up is the reason why I'm flourishing right now, because when you build people up, they build you up, you know? So that's like a big reason why I'm flourishing, I think.
That's amazing. And so in terms of your success within the business, what would you say to someone who maybe is thinking about joining and they're not quite sure, they don't think they've got it in them to be successful? What advice would you give them to come along and join us on our team?
I would say don't think about where you're at present moment. I would say that like who you are right now is not the right person to be making the decision for you.
Right.
You need to tap into your future self, like the future you, who you can be, like the possibilities, because it's that version of you that is gonna, who's already like walked the path, who's already took the risk, who's already had the courage.
Right.
And if you're in a situation right now, if you're happy with your life right now, then of course, like that's fine that you don't want to start.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to create something new for your life, you can't make the decision from this limited version of yourself. Like you absolutely have to tap into the future version of yourself who's made the decision for you and has gone on and achieved what you need to achieve. So yeah, just tap into your future self and make the decision from there.
Amazing. And I know you do a lot of mindset and being mindful. Like we had our training with you yesterday, which was amazing, by the way. Thank you very much. And it's just what would you say to someone who has that limited belief, who is thinking that, you know, I can't talk to people, I can't do that. I don't think that I could put that much work into my own business. I want to stay where it's safe in my 9 to 5 and just stay where I am. What kind of advice would you give them in terms of mindset and tapping into that?
Yeah, I would say that your perception of yourself or the story that you have about yourself is just a story. So you can change the parts of your story at any single point that you decide to. So, you know, the whole reason why I'm such a mindset person is because my story used to be a story of disempowerment and, you know, dysfunction, and I didn't have a good mindset. I didn't flourish, and it wasn't who I am. So if you couldn't change your story, then how would I have been able to go from being someone who was like suicidal to someone who's absolutely living their dream life?
Right.
So that just goes to show that, and you only need to go and look and observe people who have gone from one place to the absolute opposite to realise that you can change the story. You can change the story you have about yourself. Usually your belief system is just a thought that you have repeated many times, maybe for years, and then so if you decide that there's something about yourself that you want to change, which is, I'm not confident so I can't speak to people, well, how do you want to feel like that forever? Or do you want to decide right now that you're going to become confident and that's going to be your new story? And it'll feel weird at first, but soon that'll be your new story, and then the old story will be a distant memory, and you'll be so glad that you decided to change it.
I love that. That's great advice, guys. Make sure you take notes. And lastly, would you be able to just give us an example of something that happened to you that was your highlight of your success within the business? The time that you felt like this, you know, I've hit a huge milestone, or you've helped someone hit a huge milestone, something like that? Yeah,
I think for me, because when I started the business, I just wanted freedom, right? I just wanted to be able to travel the world full time. So for me, the biggest probably success, even though that wasn't like where I'm at now, is obviously my biggest success financially and stuff like that. But my biggest success was when I quit my full-time job, booked a one-way flight, went traveling full time. Like, that was my biggest personal success. But then when I then helped other people then do that, that was like the icing, you know, that was the cherry on the top. Because it's like, not only have I done that for myself, but now the person or the people who are also like me and who need that, I've helped them achieve that too. And there's just nothing sweeter than that.
You were able to empower them, to help them see the vision as well. And because you had done it, you had the steps to help them do it as well.
They believed it was possible, and they were like, oh, well, if she can do it and she's like me, then I can do it. And it's like, yeah, you can. I
love that. So we just want to say thank you, Josie, for taking the time to talk to us, and we're so excited.
So excited.